All right, so I wanted to add additional context into the video that I made the other day. Where I talked about the Brave New World and things like that. And it's really had me thinking if we really do live in a utopia. And it may not feel that way. I definitely don't feel it. I'm like, man, with the inflation and all these things like happening in the economy and in the world, the wars, like all this stuff, it doesn't feel like we are in one. But when we look at history, if this was happening back in the day, not a lot of people are being thrown out on the street. And I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. So a lot of people may not agree with this because of the amount. I mean, I went on a freaking rabbit hole the other day watching these TikTok compilations of people who are talking about the struggles of the current state of the economy, whether it's buying groceries, buying other things that they need for their home, their kids, stuff like that. It's becoming more difficult and prices are becoming higher. People are really starting to cut back on spending, at least in your average Joe. And it doesn't seem that way. At least the government doesn't believe it. They still think people are spending crazy amounts of money, which they probably are. Companies are making rocket profits because they're raising the prices. So it's like, yeah, less people are buying your product, but it's higher. Of course, it's gonna raise your profits. But anyway, I digress. That's a whole nother video. But I think I question if we are living in a utopia because it's like while all this bad shit is happening, you can use this device, right? I'm recording this on my iPhone. You're watching this probably on your iPhone, and all of us have one. So when it goes, in Brave New World, the book, they talk about this drug called Soma, where people take to be happy all the time. In our world, if you think about it, it's not a drug you take. While those exist, it's not necessarily a drug you take for general society. It is the device that we have in our hand, entertainment in our television. You leave one screen to go in another screen. Part of my job as a white collar worker on my day job is I'm on the computer all day. Usually, when I get off work, I'm usually jumping into another screen. It's my phone, it's maybe my laptop, doing my own personal things, doing some editing, or even my Kindle where I read my books currently. I used to enjoy having a book and not you looking at a screen, but due to my current circumstances, I'm using a Kindle because I'm jumping around, I'm moving a bit, so I have to be cognizant of that. But it is screens everywhere. My car has a screen. Everywhere, there's screens. We all have access to this now. And it makes me think, like, oh, this is the Soma that they talked about in the Brave New World. There's also this big argument happening, with the rise of AI and how we're slowly integrating more and more into becoming more machines. A lot of these corporations, they're devaluing humanity, right? I'm saying devaluing because they see people as just another dollar, you know? It's not that they want to do great with the world. Paul Miller just made a great Substack about this, about Hellman's mayonnaise. If you're from America, you would know it's very famous mayonnaise that everyone pretty much has in their pantry. And how they have this whole, all these companies are all about purpose now, and it's like, what? Since when? Like, why? You literally make mayonnaise. What's the purpose behind that, right? And it's a lot of BS, and they're trying to do it because more. That's what young people are into, honestly, and they're trying to get those young people to work there. It makes sense. I work in this place on how to market like companies that people want to work for, so they can get top talent, which is a stupid term already. Like, I don't believe in top talent. I believe a person can be a great employee if you treat them right, and they have a sense of the job, and they understand your mission, and they're just there to make connections and do the job, get a paycheck so they can live their life. Simple. You don't have to create this whole meaning behind a job unless you're a nonprofit or something. Anyway, yeah, I see us as slowly becoming this utopia. And if you watch any movies or read any books about utopias, they don't end well. we seem like we want these things, full government control, 1984 type of stuff is starting to show up. And it it's becoming more prevalent. It's becoming more scary. And while the world is burning around us, we're still getting high dopamine hits from devices and other things, food, it's everything, everywhere. Getting these rushes of dopamine to escape the reality of life and how difficult it is. I escape it. I'm not perfect. I'm talking about it for that reason. I'm like, what am I doing right now? I'm scrolling, this morning even. Just to be honest here, I woke up, I didn't even want to get out of bed. I spent 45 minutes just laying there watching YouTube videos. But I ain't beat myself up about it. I was just like, you're still gonna get the things you want to do accomplished today. And that's what counts. And at the end of the day, we have to prepare for anything. What if this sense of utopia is not really a utopia? Maybe a utopia for specific individuals that live here, but not for folks like you and I. Regular folks on the ground, seeing life for what it actually is. I think we need to rise up soon. What do you think?